So, like we said tonight, we're gonna have a chit chat with you. So we're hoping that you will share a glimpse of a teaser of what you're gonna say, what you're going to share at the conference. What is the economy of law? Was it what do you do in SECAM? Great works at SECAM. We want to know all about it. Not all, yeah. Keep it for the conference. So just share, like a bit. So Butina, you wanna say hello? So you already met me, right? And now
Yes.
Yeah, together with me is Butina. Raise your hand, Butina. So
Hi, hello.
Butina is Butina and me will be sort of like interpreter slash moderator for this session. Butina's background is a social entrepreneur. She has what does it call, Butina? The industry. You said wait. You can share, Butina. Hello, Butina. Check. Okay. Yeah, she has a business, essential oil. What do you call it, Butina? Beauty. Hello.
Yes, I hear you very well.
Yeah, but I think Butina is quite, having difficulties in connection. Yeah, she has
Yeah.
like a beauty industry, but more planet friendly, right, Butina?
Yeah, hopefully with all the
Yeah.
challenge that we're facing.
Yeah. And Butina and me are also parents in Waldorf schools in Bandung, Arunika. So then, yeah, we're gonna be with you in this session. So Butina, you may open. You may open the session with the first.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. May this space be held in warmth and clarity. May we speak with truth, listen with heart, and act with purpose. May our work today serve not only ourselves, but the greater whole, humanity, the earth, and future generations. By Rudolf Steiner. Yes, thank you, Bupi.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start the session first. We all already know about you, Mr. Helmi, but I think it's nice if you can, like share about you and SECAM for the introduction.
I am very happy to share with you some of our experience here in Egypt. Me, I am Helmi Abouleish. I'm living in Egypt since 48 years. And since the very beginning, I joined my father, late Ibrahim Abouleish, to build up the SECAM initiative in Egypt, in the desert. And this is what I'm still doing, and I'm still enjoying and still happy to do every day.
Ya, jadi I'll share it first in bahasa Indonesia. Jadi Mr. Helmi sekarang ada di Egypt, masih mengerjakan bisnis SECAM, warisan lah, bisa bilang warisan dari ayahnya, Bapak Ibrahim, dan masih enjoy mengerjakannya. Okay. So, what is SECAM, Mr. Helmi?
SECAM is an initiative, a dream my father had 48 years ago to establish a model for system change in a community in the desert in Egypt, which can be then used for reinventing agriculture, economy, education, and community development.
I think Bu Tina.
Sorry. Ya, jadi second group ini pertama inisiatif yang pertama kali kayak dikembangkan sejak 48 tahun yang lalu oleh Dr. Ibrahim Abuleish, di mana tujuannya adalah ingin mengembangkan sistem yang baru untuk komunitas sehingga bisa lebih bermanfaat untuk komunitas tersebut.
You wanna ask, Bu Tina?
Yeah, okay. Mr. Helmi, for me, SECAM is often cited as one of the most holistic business ecosystems in the world. Could you walk through us how different aspects like agriculture, education, and healthcare come together in your economic models, which you call the economy of love?
I mean, when you look at SECAM today, it is a very big initiative with many thousand people and many thousand hectares of biodynamic land and many thousand kids in schools and thousands of students in the Heliopolis University for Sustainable Development, and millions of customers all over Egypt consuming our products in every household, basically in Egypt. And you can ask yourself what is special about SECAM, of course. And the one thing is that it's based on biodynamic agriculture. And what we could prove is that biodynamic agriculture is a very good method to reclaim desert and to cultivate land. But as every other biodynamic initiative in the world, biodynamic farming alone is not enough. You need someone to take your biodynamic raw material, to add value, to produce a finished product, to distribute the product to the final consumer, and someone to buy it. And so SECAM has also from the very beginning really focused on developing a supply chain based on what we call Iqtisad al-Mahabba, or economy of love, which means that everyone in this supply chain can develop himself, can live a decent, dignified life, can at any time know what is the true cost of this product. And of course, anyone can at any time also really see the impact of his product on the whole environment. So I would say that these are basically the four most obvious questions which we try to answer for every one of our final consumers. What's the impact of the product on the environment, on society, on human development, and the real price, the true price of the product? And if we can really answer these questions for every one of the different products, and we are doing many hundred products, then the consumer can select, make a very educated purchase decision, which is then really responsible, and which will enable him to buy the right things, not the things which destroy the environment, destroy the community, destroy human development and the economy. If you want to translate,
Yeah. Yes, allow me to translate. Ya, jadi SECAM ini kan berusaha menggabungkan ada aspek pertanian, pendidikan, kesehatan, tapi memang pada awalnya adalah berasal dari pertanian biodinamik, di mana metode biodinamik ini adalah metode yang terbukti paling baik untuk mereklamasi gurun, untuk melakukan penanaman, pertanian, tapi pada akhirnya supaya hasilnya bisa maksimal, biodynamic agriculture ini harus ditindaklanjuti dengan upaya mengembangkan produk-produk lalu mendistribusikannya ke masyarakat sehingga pada akhirnya sistem ini bisa bermanfaat untuk petaninya, untuk masyarakatnya, dan untuk lingkungannya seperti itu. Nah, yang menjadi dasar untuk mengembangkan SEKEM ini adalah bagaimana supaya semua komponen yang terlibat di dalamnya mereka mengerti berapa biaya yang dikeluarkan ketika mengembangkan suatu produk, lalu bagaimana dampaknya untuk semua yang terlibat, baik petani, masyarakat, maupun lingkungan, sehingga pada akhirnya pula konsumen yang akan mengkonsumsi produk dari SEKEM ini, mereka juga bisa, karena SEKEM ini mengembangkan banyak sekali produk, sehingga pada akhirnya mereka akan mampu mengambil keputusan pembelian dengan edukasi yang baik, dan mereka juga mengerti apa biaya dan dampak dari akibat konsumsi mereka itu. Yeah, please help me. You may continue.
Yeah, and based on what I just told you now, we have developed a supply chain where we can today produce foodstuff, pharmaceutical products, and garments for the local market in Egypt, which is competing with multinational companies like I don't know, Nestle and Unilever and so on. And where we can prove that our economy of love is capable out of biodynamic raw materials to make competitive products for the local market, which are not more expensive than the conventional products. Out of the added value we have created, we then use this added value for our education, for our cultural development, for our social development projects. We have built schools, hospitals, a university. We are serving many, many thousand people in our environment. Out of the economy of love supply chain, of the economy of love products, which are all based on biodynamic agriculture and on environmental responsible processing and the usage of renewable energy and sustainable water management and so on.
Ya, thank you. Ya, jadi fokus dari The Economy of Love ini adalah bagaimana mengembangkan supply chain management atau manajemen rantai pasok, dan pada prakteknya memang mengalami banyak persaingan dengan perusahaan multinasional seperti misalnya Nestle. Tapi ternyata dengan nilai tambah yang bisa disediakan oleh SEKEM, mereka mampu bersaing dengan produk-produk dari multinational company ini. Nah, lalu dari nilai yang mereka hasilkan, mereka mendistribusikan nilai ini untuk mengembangkan pendidikan, budaya, sosial, membangun rumah sakit, membangun sekolah, perumahan-perumahan, dan bahkan juga bagaimana mereka mengimplementasikan cara mengolah sumber daya air, lalu juga lebih mengaplikasikan lagi biodynamic agriculture, ya seperti itu. Is there anything else you want to add, Mr. Helmi, or should we proceed to the next question from us?
Right, just opening. I think this is a good starting point. I mean, we will have more in the presentation anyhow.
Ya, oke. Ya, jadi itu adalah kurang lebih dasar yang akan dibahas nanti di presentasi-presentasi selanjutnya. Itu tadi baru pembukaan Bapak dan Ibu. Yes, please proceed, Mr. Helmi.
So I suppose that you want me to speak a little bit about the importance of or the possibility of upscaling the economy of love, right?
Yes.
And what I can say is that we believe that through this economy of love concept, answering these four questions to our final consumers, we are ultimately able to provide products in the local market which are of high quality, which protect the health of our consumers, which have a better taste, less impact, less negative impact on our environment, and serve finished consumers, finished and accomplished consumers who are really responsible for their purchase decisions. So for us, the economy of love is a model for the economy of the future, and we believe that this model and this standard could work anywhere in the world, including Indonesia.
Oke, ya, thank you. Ya, jadi intinya model economy of love ini adalah dasar untuk kita mengembangkan produk yang bisa memberikan kualitas yang tinggi, sehat untuk konsumen, rasanya enak, dan juga memiliki dampak negatif yang lebih sedikit. Dan Sekem percaya bahwa model economy of love ini ketika di scale up, ketika dikembangkan, itu bisa diaplikasikan di negara manapun, termasuk di negara kita di Indonesia. Yes. Okay, Mr. Helmi, one of the popular questions atau one of the main question is for entrepreneurs and change makers today is how do we build sustainable business in an unsupportive macroeconomic system? How did you navigate this challenge in Egypt, and what kind of mindsets or frameworks that helped you find your way?
First and foremost, it is an entrepreneurship spirit which you need. You need to be ready to have courage to take a next step into an unknown future. And I can tell you that the unsupportive macroeconomy is not only a risk and a challenge for us, it's a risk and a challenge for every entrepreneur in the world. But we as social entrepreneurs have to really be convinced that what we are providing as a solution is the right solution for our society, the right solution for our environment. And hence, we must have the courage to move with this to the final consumer, to the market, and and with courage and passion stand behind our product. Of course, it needs some innovation. It needs some new ideas, because you cannot simply only imitate what others are doing. So you need also always to have an innovative new idea. But with innovation and with entrepreneurship, with passion and with courage, you have to really navigate through all these challenges in the spirit that you are ready to take on the challenge, and that you are convinced that you can do it.
Jadi salah satu pertanyaan yang sering ditanyakan adalah bagaimana kita bisa mengembangkan bisnis berkelanjutan ketika kondisi makroekonomi kurang mendukung. Menurut Mr. Helmi, sebenarnya kondisi makroekonomi yang kurang bagus ini tidak hanya dihadapi oleh bisnis-bisnis yang berbasis berkelanjutan, tapi semua jenis bisnis juga seperti itu. Nah, hanya kita sebagai social enterprise, sebagai entrepreneur, kita harus memiliki strong courage, semangat yang tinggi gitu ya, itikad mungkin kalau di bahasa Indonesianya, bahwa kita percaya solusi yang kita tawarkan adalah solusi yang terbaik untuk masyarakat. Nah, selain itu juga kita punya semangat untuk menavigasi semua tantangan yang harus dihadapi, dan kita juga harus bisa melahirkan inovasi-inovasi, ide-ide baru, tidak hanya mengimitasi apa yang jadi intinya kita harus yakin dan semangat itu dulu yang jadi awalnya. Oke, ya. Bu Upi, do you want to add any questions?
I just want to read the question from the participant, Mr. Helmi, since you only have like 5 minutes left. The question from Bukeni: in what ways can SECAM's vision and mission be effectively communicated and embraced by the entire community?
So what we are doing, and what we are happy to share also with all of our friends and networks in the whole world, is that we try to keep all of our community members always well informed. We have rituals like a circle every day in the morning for every company, every school, every team, every farm, and every university, where the people meet to meet each other in a circle and feel that they cannot do anything alone, that they need to be in a society, in a community, that they need the other people in their community. So this is the one thing that we really cultivate, this feeling that 1 and 1 is more than 2 people alone can achieve. And the other thing is, of course, that we share with all of our teams and community members our vision and mission. We have weekly meetings where we discuss what we are doing, what is the role of everyone, how can everyone support, and how can everyone also take responsibility. And last not least, we offer to all of our community members an opportunity to learn, to unfold their potential, to raise whatever they would like to learn as in arts or in science or in handicrafts, agriculture, whatever else, so that they can learn something at the same time while they are working. And as a result, with the circle, with the meetings where we share our vision, and with the community, with what we call the core program, we have self-motivated and happy people who are, as I said, able to produce products which are better, cheaper than other products in the market.
So communication, everyone is involved, and then everyone's learning. Yeah, Mr. Helmi. So for the closing statement, so we only have like a short of time. Do you have any like closing statement before you leave for another meeting?
What I would like to say is that from my experience in 48 years here in the work in Egypt, and from my short experience at my trip to Indonesia a month ago, I really believe that there should be possibilities to cooperate between these two countries, these wonderful cultures. I believe that there are similarities, and I believe if it was possible to build, based on the economy of love, this miracle of SECAM in the desert, it should be possible, based on the same concept, to build even more beautiful examples for the future in Indonesia. So we are happy to cooperate, we are happy to learn from you, we are happy to inspire you, we are happy to share our experience, and of course also to welcome you here in SECAM to see together what we have done.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Helmi, for sparing your time with us through your busy days. See you soon at the conference. Yeah. And yeah, we are very glad to have you at the conference, and we would like to learn more from you, the conference. So have a nice day, Mr. Helmi.
Thank you. And my best regards to everyone. All the best to you.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much, Mr. Helmi.
Thank you.
Untuk
Thank you,
peserta
Helmi.
ya, untuk peserta yang lain jangan beranjak dulu ya. Jangan beranjak dulu. Karena kita ada sedikit pengumuman. Shula, so we still talk in English since they are participant from abroad, ya. So, Bu Tina, would you like to share information about Helmi session at the conference?
Yeah, okay. Hi, everyone. Due to Mr. Helmi's business, I'm sorry if some of the questions that you asked cannot be answered. But we'd like to announce that, especially for Mr. Helmi's workshop sessions, I have shared the details on screen. Yeah, okay. So there will be 2 exclusive online sessions with Mr. Helmi Abulesh and his team from Sechem Group. It is available for public purchase. So if you are not possible to attend the Indonesia International Conference on Anthroposophy offline, you may still join our workshop, but only for Mr. Helmi's, which is gonna be 2 days on July 30 and 31st. And the session will explore deeply about the economy of love, about how to develop the supply chain management and how to distribute the value to give impacts in various sections. And also, if you are interested in developing cooperative and also on building, on empowering people, Mr. Helmi and his team will also share about how to make cooperative systems and how to build a culture system. So we invite you all to join the sessions. It will be in English, but there will also translation into Bahasa. And there is an early bird prize if you register until 9 of July. I think that's all from me, Upi. But other than the online, if you wish to explore more about associative economics more deeply and holistically, we want to remind you that in this conference for the business and economy workshop, we will have a 3 full workshop with Mr. Helmi Abulesh, Mr. Abdul Hayum, and Mr. Gregory Stock. So I think it will be more interesting if you can join the full session of our workshop. And also on our website, please do remember that we also have other interesting pillars of the anthroposophy, which is biodynamic agriculture, art, education, nutrition, health. So please check our website. Yeah, thank you. Ibu Upi, back to you.
Yes. We will put it the flyer like 1 minute more, ya, Bu Tina. So everyone can scan the QR code on the bottom of the flyer if you want to directly register and get the early bird ticket.
there is a question from Vivin. Is there opportunity for young Indonesians learn from SECAM on internship or something like that? Okay. We will ask those questions to Mr. SECAM, and if you are on our WhatsApp group, we will send you the answer. Thank you, Vivin, for your question.
So perhaps any other question before we end the Zoom preview? Yeah, just grab the ticket first ya, Bu Tina.
Okay, then I think that's all from us. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu, thank you once again to all of you who join us this evening. Before we close this session, we will close in the first. Ibu Upi.
Receive the light with gratitude, transform it with love, and give it back as insight to the world. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day. Have a nice dream. Good night.
Yeah, until we meet again, stay well and take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Pak Lupi, Bu Tina.
Ya.
See you.
Sayang ya, pertanyaannya banyak nih yang menarik.
Betul.
Ya ampun, aku tuh terharu banget yang pas terakhir Helmi bilang tentang harapan dia itu.